Hello and welcome to Dead Edition. Dave Cottingham here with Russell Johnson.
What's up?
And we are talking about episode 15, East.
East. Very simple.
Of The Walking Dead, yes.
They've had some longer names. That was nice and short. East.
Yeah, and you're told what it means later, which is cool.
Uh-huh.
All right, so...
should we get the big question from the get-go, or wait, hold that until the end? Like the end of the show?
Oh, end of the show, for sure.
All right.
Leading into the final.
Talking that went right into, like...
Who's gonna bite it?
Well, no. What happened at the end of this particular episode?
Oh,
Let's wait. We'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait. Okay, so anyway, just initial thoughts of the episode.
This was I haven't had a lot of complaints, but my thing was the end of the episodes so far, probably the last 4 or whatever, have always saved the entire episode for me.
Yeah.
There's always something big happens at the end. This one was pretty solid from beginning to end. I thought there was some really good. There was a lot of good stuff going on in this episode. I loved that Morgan finally was able to make his point about not killing, where it made sense to Rick. You know, when he talked about, look, I saved a wolf, and he did a lot of bad things, but when he was with Denise, when zombies overran Alexandria, he saved Denise, and then she was there to save Carl.
Yeah.
But he's just saying it's circular logic as far as
But I was waiting for Rick to say, well, if you didn't save him, Denise wouldn't have been in that situation, and she would have already been at the place.
But the wolf had nothing to do with what happened to Carl. So it's like, it was a totally separate incident. So if Denise probably would have got out by herself, she may have died if the wolf wasn't there to save her. Because Rick saved, because he
But Denise was only there to help him mend. Like, if he killed him, she would have never been there and been in the...
We know what happened, so yeah, I'm just saying, I like that. So I like that logic.
I didn't buy that logic.
I liked it because it made Rick think about it. Because other than saying all life is precious and just keep saying that over and over again, that's more like the religious argument that people have, and like, well, why have faith in the situation? There's no God, blah blah blah. You know, at least this had some sort of like, here's how it all comes around. That's all. I like how they did that. The whole Carol thing was cool. Her situation, she still seems very reluctant to kill, but she will do it if she has to.
Yeah. No
problem there. But my big question is, and we talked about this before we do this episode, why does everyone leave Alexandria?
Yeah.
You're waiting for the saviors to show up and fight them. Why does everyone leave? I don't understand. I mean, I know that you know, Sasha and all them are more than capable of defending Alexandria when it comes down to it. But if this huge fight is coming,
yeah,
why is everyone leaving? And we thought Daryl was leaving to go after Carol. Obviously, something else was happening. You know, it was a whole Daryl guilt thing happening with him. So then Glenn leaves, and then Michonne leaves with him, and Rick leaves with Morgan. It's like, stop leaving.
Right.
You know, so I didn't... Yeah. That was... I mean, I understand kind of separating them out and getting them in that situation. But the ending was great. The ending had a very shocking ending, which... If anyone actually believes that somebody won't show up on the show next week, they're sorely mistaken.
Crazy.
But it was kind of a cool way to end the episode. That was one of those cliffhanger things. But yeah, I thought it was solid all around.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I was confused like you. Why, you know, we talked about last week Carol leaving a little bit and not sure where that thinking is, you know, with her. But then, you know, Daryl jets out of there, and you're kind of thinking, is he going after Carol? But then he's not. He's got his own agenda, which causes more people to leave. So you're like, man, is this... So right away, I'm thinking, okay, I know what they're setting up for. They're setting up for some guys getting caught.
Right,
and it's going to be, and you know, that's when we're going to see the introduction of Negan. So, but overall, yes, it was a very good episode. Very good points, like you said. Things with Morgan, you know, Morgan kind of talking with Rick and them going out, and then you had the Daryl. I felt like the Daryl Glenn interaction was awesome.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good.
You know, like, we need you kind of thing, and you know, but
Daryl stays in that whole motion like he's a caged animal. Like, even when Glenn's standing in front of him, he's still moving. Like, get out of my way, type of thing. So he's staying true to his character. I can understand. I mean, I can understand where he's coming from. I don't know why he would still feel that guilt, like I should have killed Dwight the moment I saw him.
Right.
You know, but because now Denise is dead and all this stuff is happening because I didn't kill him, which is a good plot point. But you know,
I think he's gonna get his chance. Like, I think that's something that's gonna resolve.
now, do you think he will? Because I mean, Dwight.
I do.
And we talked about Dwight being a major character still in the books. I mean, he's actually leading a group for Rick.
Right.
I mean, right. So Dwight's been on Negan's side and then kind of shifted away from Negan, and he won't stick around that long.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I don't think I just don't. I don't think Daryl's no way Daryl can actually be on the same side as this guy.
Probably not.
You know what I mean?
Which we'll go into that.
Well,
later.
exactly. So, okay.
We'll go back into that
So,
later on.
so there was a scene I wanted to talk about. There was a scene that I missed because my DVR messed up a little bit. There was a storm that happened, so I just watched it actually before. It's the Carol scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good scene.
Did not see that coming.
Nope.
Did you see that coming?
No, not at all. Because when those guys got shot, I did think it was Daryl or someone from that group who just stumbled upon what was going on and took them out so Carol wouldn't have to. But the fact that I didn't really, you guys were talking about this before we did the show, her sewing the gun into her, I didn't catch that.
I didn't put that together.
So I didn't think about the gun being in her coat. So that was kind of a shocker. And even though she's still having almost the panic attack with this confrontation that they're having, she's still willing to do what she has to do.
Now is that fake?
I don't think so.
I
think this is a transformation for her. I think she's in that point where she doesn't want to add to her kill list, and now for whatever reason she's having panic attacks when a confrontation like that happens because she has to do something.
Yeah.
There's no way to avoid. I mean, that's what she was like. You guys can just turn around. This doesn't have to happen. Please don't do this. She's begging people now. Same thing she did when she was caught with Maggie. It's like, you guys don't have to do this type of thing. And everyone's telling me we have to do it to prove a point. And she doesn't want to be. She'll only do it if she's forced into a corner. Like she's got no way out. So and she really didn't really save her. So they're pretty bad people. So.
So speaking of Maggie.
Yes.
I was shocked.
I was shocked by this too.
That happened. So do you think your best guess is you think they lose the baby?
Best guess, yeah.
Because the doctor is, I guess, still at the hilltop.
Right, exactly. So we can't really just
and no
pop
Denise.
on him real quick, right? So we don't. Maybe that'll linger for a little bit. But she seemed like she's in a lot of pain.
Yeah, no. I think
to be like, well, it's preterm labor or whatever it happens to be. And the baby's tiny still at this point.
Right.
So for her to have that kind of pain, that's all I can think of. She got her hair cut off. Much like the comic books, her hair's short, so that went with that. But yeah, she's in a lot of pain. So I can only assume that she's going to lose the baby, which again leads into something we're going to talk about later.
Correct.
Yeah, that's my only thing.
Yeah,
conclusion.
which. Overall, so the shocking ending of this episode, Glenn and Michonne get captured, basically.
Stay out of the woods. Saviors are all over the woods.
Yeah,
stay out of the damn woods.
You're making a lot of noise in there.
Exactly. And they're just telegraphing themselves.
So anyway, what the ending?
Well, the ending, much was debated about, because on Twitter, I watched it a day later. So all I saw on Twitter at the time the show was actually airing was that, oh my God, they shot Daryl. I was like, what the hell? Stop doing this while the show is on, please. I should just stay off the phone.
Yeah, you gotta get off.
I should stay off the phone. It's my fault. But the fact that he got shot, there's that quick moment that people talked about, like they didn't know exactly what Dwight said. I heard him say, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Everybody else kind of interpreted it a little differently. But I heard he'll be all right. I mean, I heard as soon as the screen went black. But the fact that he gets shot and there's a lot of blood that hits the camera, which is pretty good. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it looks like he got shot in the shoulder.
Right.
Honestly, it didn't look like he tried to give him a kill shot.
No.
Although you would think he would have every reason to.
I know.
But yeah, I think he's going to set him up for Negan. Honestly, that's why he didn't do these. He's want to get a little payback against Daryl finally. So. Yeah, it was shocking, but he's by no means dead.
No means. I don't think so either. I think I was ready for retaliation, some shooting and fighting going on, but no, Dwight shows up behind him. Of course, again, he didn't. He's on. Daryl's this big tracker,
Yeah.
and he can't hear anybody walking
Yeah.
up behind him. I was
Yeah.
like really thrown off by that a little bit. But anyway, all right. So setting up next week's season finale,
Which, by the way, has a very ominous title.
yeah, the last day.
Last day on Earth.
Last day
For somebody.
on Earth.
That's for sure. We know that for a fact.
So we've been kind of talking about it.
Yes.
Leading up to this episode of Dead Edition here, that who we think is going to get killed. So we had talked about
Who's the character that's going to die?
yeah. So we talked about
This is equivalent to issue 100 of the Walking Dead comic book because
Right.
that's when Negan appears for the first time.
now in the issue, if my memory serves me, you had Maggie and Sophia, who was still alive,
Right.
Glenn, Rick, Carl,
Yep.
Michonne, and I want to say there was one other person, either like Heath or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I think there was one other person, but that was it.
Certainly not Abraham because he's dead in the comic book.
Yeah, he's already dead, and Jesus wasn't around
Right.
at this time, so they were in a van driving, kind of secretly at night, and then they get pulled over, and Negan teaches them a lesson.
Right.
Now the circumstances that's happened in this series right now are a lot more. I feel like the Alexandrians and Rick's group has done a lot more than they did in the book.
Yeah.
At this
absolutely.
point, right?
Yeah, they've killed a lot of saviors,
A lot of saviors.
which they didn't do with the comic book. It was kind of like they just got caught and they weren't willing to. We're not going to do what Negan tells us to do. Basically, is really all it was.
Pretty much.
And he captured him and said, "Well, no, we're going to do this." They never attacked the saviors first in the comic book. So yeah, they killed that entire compound. They've killed the dudes who were on the road there. They've killed some of Dwight's people. So
Carol just killed
Yeah, exactly.
the dicks in the truck.
Exactly. So they've killed a lot of the saviors. So this is going to be major retaliation. I mean, it sets up good for you understanding why Negan's going to do this.
Right. Oh yeah.
Because Negan's like, look, you guys have killed how many people of mine, right? So
So
there's got to be punishment.
there is.
And then the teaser trailer for next episode was, all the things you've done wrong basically comes to a head, and you're going to get punished for what you did. Because actually, Rick's group is. If you were, let's put it this way, if you didn't know Negan's group was bad, and they were extortionists basically, Rick's group looks like the bad
They
guys.
do.
They're going out just
Absolutely.
slaughtering people for no reason.
Absolutely.
So they look like the bad guys. So I'm sure Negan's like, why are they doing this? He's got
A system going.
and they come along and start wiping people out. So it's like everybody else is following the rules. So it makes them look bad. But
Although Rick and them did hear about the
sure,
the stuff with they saw the stuff with Gregory.
Exactly.
They saw that someone
Yeah,
got
yeah.
captured and
Yeah.
killed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, now it comes down to kind of our predictions.
prediction: who's going to get the first taste of Lucille?
Yes, and now we have said we're going to give you our top three, right? Now,
Yeah, I've thought about
you
it.
want to do your top three, or you want to do?
I think we do top three
All right.
because I have my number one for sure. But there are a couple people like during the episode, especially this week, where I've been like, maybe it's them,
Okay.
just based on what happened to them.
So who do you think is? You want to go start with number one or give number three? Like who's least
Oh,
likely?
that's good. Let's do it backwards.
Least likely?
Yeah, let's
okay.
do it backwards.
Who do you think is least likely?
Least likely, I think, is Glenn. Glenn would be my number 3 on
Wow.
the list.
Okay.
I think I still think there's a chance. I still think there's a chance.
So that's the number three. A chance, but highly unlikely.
I put him, a far third among all of them because they set him up too much with like going into the compound. He's the one who sees the heads bashed in.
Yeah.
So that's foreshadowing a lot right there, right? He's almost died twice. So to actually kill him, I don't know if they would do that, this final episode. But Maggie loses the baby. Again, makes me feel like, maybe he won't get killld.
Yeah.
Because they lose a baby. I mean, it's kind of like, that's putting a lot on Maggie. But then again, I still think at some point during this episode, the season finale, they're going to make it look like he's going to get killed. Like Negan's going to say he's going to kill him or something. And just have that tense moment with comic book fans like us who be like, oh my God, here comes the Glenn. But maybe just set that up as a red herring and mislead you, misdirect us. So I'm thinking I still think there's a chance he gets killed, but I think he's third on my list.
Okay. Well, someone who I think is gonna. So my third, who I think is possible. I actually think it's possible now that this episode happened, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Is actually Michonne.
She was on my checklist.
I think it's possible because I don't think Negan's gonna know they have a relationship
yeah.
necessarily, but I feel like something might happen or someone might say how dangerous she is possibly. I don't know. He may get that read. Again, I don't think it's likely, but so that's why I kind of put her in 3. So who's your backup?
My backup to the person I think is going to get killed, and I kind of changed on this a little bit. I've kind of shifted between 2 people. I've shifted between Carol being one of them, and then actually, I'm thinking I might get Rick.
Wow.
I know he's long term, right?
Yeah.
But where is he in the hierarchy of things now? He's just the enforcer, right? He's not the leader anymore. They're kind of shifting that role over to Maggie as a leader of the group, the negotiator, the one who does all this stuff, right? And there's plenty of people on the show that you still like, right? And to do something like that would totally change the course of the show.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So,
God.
I mean, I'm kind of back and forth, but I think between the 2, I'd pick Carol. Because she's become the pacifist. She's become the one who runs away.
But Rick's not in your number 1 then, though? Or?
No.
Okay.
No,
so you're putting Carol number 2.
Number 2 was like back and forth. So I'm kind of tossing Rick out, but I think, exists within the realm of things because it might just be one of those shocking moments that, people don't see coming. But Carol would be my second to my number 1, only because we've really seen a shift in her character. Really seen her become, again, the pacifist, the person who doesn't want to fight, the person who wants to walk away from this group to not put them in danger, not have a love relationship. And to kill her off would be, she's not in the comic books anymore, so we don't really know where her story would have even gone.
Yeah.
I mean, she never came even close to this far in the book.
Correct.
So,
but that's interesting that
she's kind of a new character. She's gone from victim of her husband to leader back to... I don't think she's necessarily a victim at this point, but she's really kind of gotten to that mode of, I don't want to be the one, I don't want to be the aggressor.
Yeah.
So she's kind of in between now, I think. So I think that possibility is her.
And that's interesting because somehow she's got to get there. Because right now she's kind of on her own, right?
Exactly. But
so that's interesting. My number 2, who I think is, again, right behind my number 1, but I think it is possibly Glenn.
No?
I think they're going to stick. If it's not my number 1, I think they're going to stick with the book, and they're going to off Glenn. But I don't think, at least right now, the way what's happening with Maggie, I don't know how she gets there. I don't because like we said in the book, she was already in there in the book in the van. I don't know how she gets there, so maybe she's not there, and they have to come back and tell her. So my number 2 is Glenn.
Yeah. The only reason I didn't pick anybody that's in Alexandria right now is that, right now the Saviors have the 4. They have Rosita, Glenn.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to say. So before number 1, say who you think's there.
So who I think for sure is there is obviously Daryl and Rosita and Glenn and Michonne are there for sure. I think Morgan could be there because he's kind of out on his own looking for Carol. I think Carol could be there because that guy from the Saviors is chasing her.
Right.
So that's why I put her in that category too, because he can be the one to go to Negan and say she killed like 6 guys 2 seconds ago, right? So,
and the people and the
people and the other. She's killed a bunch of Saviors on her own. So that's why I put her up there because Negan might get that information directly from people who he trusts. But I think those 4 are there for sure. Morgan and Carol for sure. I would like to see. We talked about this. I'd like to see Maggie there. I'd like to see. Now, if Maggie goes there, then I'm thinking it could be Glenn for sure.
Yeah.
If Maggie shows up some way somehow in that, I think Glenn he might move up quite a bit. But Rick for sure. I like to see Carl though too, because I think that's what you need that for the go. But right now those 6 are the ones I know for sure are there.
I don't think
because we've seen the photo of Daryl like hand tied.
Yeah.
And in front of Negan. So
I think it's kind of everybody you talked about, except I think the 4 obviously that Dwight has, but then I don't think Morgan and Carol are going to be there. I think it's going to be Rick, Carl, Abraham, and then maybe a couple guys like Eugene, and maybe the other group that kind of goes out once Rick comes back and goes out. So,
I can totally see that.
Yeah, maybe Sasha. Maybe Sasha.
In the previews, isn't Rick and a bunch of people going out in an RV?
Yes, so they come across more saviors, and I failed to go back and look and see who exactly was. I know I saw Carl and Rick, and I think I saw like the guy that Carol was with.
I can't remember
that guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, number one.
Who
do you think?
Number one for me, and after much deliberation and what happened at the end of this episode, I do think it'll be Daryl. I know nobody wants to hear that. I know nobody, because Daryl is without doubt the most well-rounded character on the show. He's had the biggest arc, really, from the beginning, being the little brother to this, racist dude, redneck, not really getting out and being dependent upon his brother, to growing into this leader and being the one everyone can count on for everything. But I think because of his kind of interaction with Dwight, and you made a good point about this. We talked about this earlier. In the comic book, Dwight is still around. Yeah. And Dwight is actually leading the group. And I agree with you. I don't feel that Daryl and Dwight can exist in the same space.
I agree.
I don't think Daryl will ever go around and say, yes, I'm going to be on this guy's side for any reason. So I think just because he's such a big character, he's such a fan favorite, that I don't put it past Kirkman at all to say he's gone.
Yeah.
Because it would really shock people. It would just have a crushing blow to the end of the season, honestly.
I agree.
And I think to have that impact, it's got to be a big character. And I mean, not an Abraham, not a Eugene, not a Sasha, not a Rosita. It's got to be a Glenn. It's got to be a Rick. It's got to be a Carol. It's got to be a Daryl. It's got to be somebody of that echelon. Maggie, something like that.
One of the originals.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody, because none of those people have been gone. Nobody's really died in quite a while since like really Herschel. Kind of that key group. He was like
Tyrese was after that.
Tyrese,
but he wasn't even, I don't think, a huge fan favorite.
Yeah, but for Herschel, it took a long time for them to kill off somebody who's like the core group people. So I think they got to kill one of those people. And I think the only person that's likely out of that key group of people, honestly, is Daryl. Because everyone else has not that Daryl doesn't serve a role, but he's an original character that came on just for TV. And only stuck around because he became a fan favorite. So I don't put it past him to do that, especially since he's been shot already.
Yeah.
Negan may say, well, you're already shot, you're bleeding out, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to end it for you right here. It's everything.
So the two I had on my list for the last few weeks was actually always Abraham or Daryl, because just the way they were building those characters up.
Right.
But I got to say, I'm about 99.9% sure. I'm with you. I think it's Daryl.
Yep.
I think it's Daryl. And I think it's Daryl because being shot, I really think as they're there, I see Daryl talking major shit to Negan.
I do too.
I basically see him asking for it. Like in a sense where if you don't, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill everyone.
Exactly.
And, they're going to try to shut him up.
Kind of like he did with the Claimers, right? I mean, even though he joined the Claimers, he was still very much like, I'm still going to kill all you guys, give them the opportunity. And I think Negan's going to see that. Like, he's the one, if he gets loose, or if we let him become part of our group or whatever, he might turn on us at some point. And
he's going to be a danger, I think. And I think they're going to see that.
I think he will talk he'll talk major smack to Negan. So, he won't let it go because Dwight's going to be standing right there.
I know.
So he's not going to let it go.
And that could be the thing that actually changes Dwight a little bit.
Could be.
It could be that thing that changes him. So, all right.
Hope it's not true, but that's last coming. That's all.
What do you think?
He's been offside all the time.
Hi, everybody.
That's not hooked up.
Is this on? No. I think I think you're right. I think it's got to be a major character because this is like issue 100, right? So
it is.
But I kind of think the whole Daryl thing has been misleading, and I think it's going to be Carol or Glenn. I don't think it's Daryl.
Okay.
Just my 2 cents. Hi.
There you go. Thanks, Chad.
Chad Perkins, everybody.
Yeah, Chad Perkins, everybody. So tune in next week when we actually discuss the season finale of The Walking Dead here on Dead Edition. And that'll be actually probably our season finale, even though the next week is Fear the Walking Dead. So we'll start season 2 then.
Season 2, well, yeah, we should do that.
We should do that. Yeah. We'll start season 2 with Fear of the Walking Dead, which is the very next week.
I know. I saw that last night. It's kind of clocked in my head. I was like, saw an ad for Fear the Walking Dead. It said February or April 10th. I was like, oh, wow, we're not taking any time off. We're right back into
absolutely.
It. All right,
so thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Keep it on here and subscribe and let us know who you think is going to get.
Down below. Tell us in your comments who you think is going to be.
Who do you think is going to get the Lucille?
And we may have a prize for you. We don't know.
We may. We got definitely a lot of prizes.
We got some Walking Dead stuff we can give away.
Next week, we're going to do that. So we'll give some stuff away. So thanks for watching, guys.
Comment, subscribe,
yes.
click over here, right down here.
One of these areas, yeah. All right, he's Russ. I'm Dave. Yeah. He's Chad. See you guys next week.